Hey you, today's question is, what is happiness? How do you get it? How do you even think about getting it? And the framing of this question is sort of weird for me because I often get heady. I get into my head and I say, oh, how do you think about happiness? How do you feel about happiness? Because ultimately, where does happiness live? If you're searching and trying to find what happiness really is for you, then you need to start questioning, where does happiness live? Does it live in your mind? Does it live in this beautiful tool we have to intellectualize the world and to understand the world, to plan and to make ambitions and goals and to strive? Does it happen from that? Are there certain instances when it could? Absolutely. Are there certain instances when striving and when planning and when thinking deeply about something really does result in happiness? Is that the most common outcome though? Is the most common outcome of getting in here, getting in this thing, is the most common outcome of that happiness? If you believe that there's something else driving you outside of what's created in your mind, because the mind is completely integrated with the body and the soul, however they're different. Your heart's sort of like the gateway into whatever you're feeling in that moment. You know, it could be physiologically, your heart rate could be elevated, you could feel a tightness, you could feel just that feeling you get when something's off. You always want to be going for what gives you relief and what gives you the most enjoyment and excitement in that moment. So if happiness is a feeling, then you need to aim for searching what's really in your heart. And the way I do that, the simplest way I do that is I just sit and I meditate, and when I'm still and silent and not talking or connecting with anything else or anyone else, I hone in on what's truly there, what's really circulating. And then I start to visualize certain outcomes, you know? Say I take that job, I visualize my life in that way. Say I go and connect with this opportunity, I visualize what it's gonna look like over there and how I'm gonna feel in that situation. I actually put myself there. So I visualize it, which is a mental technique. However, I'm visualizing to see how I feel. I'm not visualizing so I can plan the steps to get there. I'm visualizing to see how I feel. Whichever situation or outcome or visualization that I do, I feel the most content with. Say, hey, I could go A, B, and C. And I put myself in A, B, and then C, and I see how I feel. And whichever one gives me the most contentment, the most excitement, I follow that. I design steps to get to that one. There are any number of options you could take in your life, and there's no such thing as a wrong step if you're following what's in your heart. So what is in your heart? That's where happiness lives. So how to achieve happiness? Follow what's in your heart and you'll be all set. One full heart, never apart. I hope you have an extraordinary day. I hope you have an extraordinary life. Peace.